Are you a gamer looking for your clan? If you answered yes, there's a place absolutely perfect for you. It's called Clan Finder, online at clanfinder.gg. The website was founded by gamers who were committed to keeping the site updated with the latest titles, adding new features to further assist in advertising your community across the globe, and bringing on gaming studios that want to give back to their players. Helping support charities from around the world, Clan Finder helps gaming communities promote their organizations to fellow gamers who are looking for a place to call home. Long gone are the days when you had to scour forums, stem discussions, and sketchy websites to find a new gaming clan. Go to clanfinder.gg and search for your clan today. Clanfinder.gg.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to WWE Retro on the WWE podcast on this October 7th. As for us Canadians, it's Thanksgiving weekend, so we're getting ready to indulge in some turkey and some stuffing. I know for the Americans out there, you're still a month and a half away. And for everyone else, I don't believe Thanksgiving's a thing. Pretty sure it is a North American holiday. But my personal favorite holiday of the year, as it really, I believe I talked about this last week, that it really gets into the sporting season for all sports. Hockey, baseball, playoffs, football's underway, basketball's getting going. Obviously, wrestling's year-round. I love the turn of the weather. I like when it's cooler, not freezing, but cooler outside. Weather has always been my thing. So for me, it is my favorite time and favorite month and favorite holiday of the year. But another thing that we have this weekend, tomorrow in fact, is Extreme Rules. And that's why I thought it'd be fitting to go back and review where it came from. And Extreme Rules, once upon a time, was Ecw One Night Stand. And Ecw One Night Stand was brought back, or was birthed, I guess, in a lot of ways, in June of 2005. And ECW, in the late 90s, early 2000s, really kind of took over a portion of wrestling fans. And look, at that time, I was very young, so I can't really speak to how much of an impact ECW had on me. But as we went into the Ruthless Aggression era and people were still talking about it, it kind of made me realize that what we were seeing with the ECW not dying among the fan base meant that there was still an appetite for this product to come back. And they announced it for June of 2005, like I said. And the original ECW was basically just ECW originals coming back. There were some current WWE guys who would participate in it. Like Jericho came back as he was he participated in it. He was on the Raw roster at the time, and he participated as Lionheart Chris Jericho. And then you had Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, I believe, face off against one another. We're going to run through the whole card after, and we're also going to cover the 2006 pay-per-view as well. But principally, the ECW One Night Stand in 2005 was to really give fans a taste of what it used to be. And en route to this pay-per-view, you had WWE guys, both from Raw and from SmackDown, start to call themselves the Crusaders, that they were going to go into ECW and take over it. And you had Bischoff leading the guys on Monday Night Raw. You had JBL and Kurt Angle leading the guys on SmackDown. And you really kind of had this cool building towards a clash at the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view. But before we would even get to ECW One Night Stand, we would have the ECW originals combat the WWE Crusaders on Monday Night Raw.
Bischoff's Crusaders making their way to the ring, and the Dudleys are cornered. So is Heyman with nowhere to go. Trapped like rats. That they are. What are you going to do now, Paul Heyman? Eric? I guess you didn't hear me. In ECW, we never back down from anybody! What? What is this? Oh my God, King, look! Oh no! Let me bring with the right. But it's the ECW, buddy, whether we like it or not.
It's so funny. Like, I completely forgot that Maven, if you guys remember him, just got completely sacrificed, like a sacrificial lamb to the ECW contingent. So you have all the originals come back, like the Dudley Boys, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, Balls Mahoney, Rhino, another bigger, larger guy that I always forget his name, but you have them all come in from the crowd, except for the Dudleys who were already in the ring. But what made this feel so real and badass was that none of these guys were in WWE at the time. You know, the Dudleys had been gone for a year. Tommy Dreamer had been gone for a few years. Sandman had never been in WWE. Ditto for Balls Mahoney. Rhino was away from the company at that point in time. He would come back shortly thereafter. Or no, he was with the company, then he went away, then he came back. Rhino was always kind of off and on, but the vast majority of these guys were not under contract with the company and were coming back for this very event. And it made it feel legit. And when you got to the pay-per-view, it opens with Lance Storm defeating Chris Jericho, Lionheart Chris Jericho, in 7 minutes. You had Super Crazy defeat Guido and Tajiri in a triple threat match in 6 minutes. You had Rey Mysterio defeat Psychosis in 6 minutes in an Extreme Rules match. You had Sabu defeat Rhino in 7 minutes. Chris Jericho defeat Eddie Guerrero in 11 minutes, or Chris Benoit, sorry. And Mike Awesome defeat Masato Tanaka in 10 minutes in a singles match. So if you see a pattern here, like there's no WWE championships, there's no WWE wrestlers really aside from Ray and Benoit and Guerrero and Jericho. Like these are all ECW original guys, and even the WWE guys were former ECW guys. And somewhere in the middle of this program, we have Paul Heyman come out to address the WWE Crusaders, who were up there in a loft waiting and biding their time to pick their moment to invade the actual product and get to the ring and take on these ECW guys. And like I said, you had Bischoff up there with Edge and Christian, La Resistance, William Regal from SmackDown. You had JBL in the cabinet, Kurt Angle. So Kurt Angle had a vested interest here because he had attacked Taz a couple weeks leading into this ECW One Night Stand. So when you have Paul Heyman come to the ring as he comes out of Gorilla and cut this promo, you really get the feeling for how important this was for not only the fans, but even Paul Heyman and the rest of the talent.
Don't take the high road, Paul. But I have something to say to you! You see, I've waited a long time to say this to you, Eric Bischoff. But in case you don't notice, it's not Paul Heyman freaking Hardy! The only reason you were WWE champion for a year is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesday.
Well, it makes you remember and realize just how damn good a promo Paul Heyman is. And it's funny because obviously that's a clip from the WWE Network, and they kind of just skip over the fact that he actually said, "This is EC bleeping W." I'm sure you guys can fill in the bleeping. And, you know, it's a shoe promo by all accounts, and I mean, what he says to John Bradshaw Layfield, is that just not so brutal but yet true? Because, you know, his championship reign, which I do think was very underrated, you know, that was like peak me watching WWE, the product, and I think that it was a very underrated program. I thought it was a bit rushed, a bit out of left field, a bit out of nowhere. I always thought maybe that run would have been best served for Kurt Angle. But he did a good job with it. But it is kind of true that, like, during that time when on the Raw side, Triple H was predominantly the World Heavyweight Champion, it did always feel like JBL was playing second fiddle. And, like, nowadays, it's almost like when you have one unified champion for both brands, it almost kind of makes you realize, like, damn, like, imagine if you still had, like, Big E as champion on Monday Night Raw. Like, could someone tell Big E the only reason you're champion is because Roman Reigns doesn't want to work Mondays? But, I mean, to be fair, Roman Reigns doesn't work Mondays anyway, so I digress. So, you get to the main event, and this is a really good main event. It's the Dudley Boys versus Sandman and Tommy Dreamer in an Extreme Rules tag team contest. And I got to tell you guys, like, if you have to watch one match here from this pay-per-view, go back and watch this. And it was absolutely brutal. And if you can find the uncut version or the undubbed over version of Sandman's entrance, you know what? Me explaining it doesn't do it justice. Because if you go watch it on the WWE Network, you're going to hear a dubbed over version with an alternative theme song for the Sandman that really kind of affects the crowd quality and how loud the crowd was. So I think it's only fair if you guys get to listen for yourselves just how insane the crowd went for Sandman's entrance.
Are you a gamer looking for your clan? If you answered yes, there's a place absolutely perfect for you. It's called Clan Finder, online at clanfinder.gg. The website was founded by gamers who were committed to keeping the site updated with the latest titles, adding new features to further assist in advertising your community across the globe, and bringing on gaming studios that want to give back to their players. Helping support charities from around the world, Clan Finder helps gaming communities promote their organizations to fellow gamers who are looking for a place to call home. Long gone are the days when you had to scour forums, stem discussions, and sketchy websites to find a new gaming clan. Go to clanfinder.gg and search for your clan today. Clanfinder.gg.
So yeah, it's the crowd going ballistic, and obviously for copyright reasons or what have you, WWE can't use the actual entrance music, and you realize that with a lot of music relating to the WWE network. You'll hear it for the theme songs of pay-per-views, even when The Undertaker would come out to Rollin' by Limp Bizkit. But it's a shame because the crowd was going absolutely ballistic here for a great entrance by the Sandman, and it would be an amazing main event. Then following the event, you would have Stone Cold Steve Austin come out, and then a massive brawl would take place between the WWE Crusaders and the ECW Originals. A real-life fight would break out between the Blue Manie and John Bradshaw Layfield, which was hilarious. And if you watch the clip, you see the Blue Manie just completely bloodied up after JBL actually split him open with real punches, and just goes to show you what could happen in a wrestling contest. Then the following year, because it was such a success, right? Like an overwhelming success, ECW One Night Stand was. You have ECW One Night Stand 2006. This one wasn't the same for several reasons. For one, it was announced that Rob Van Dam, who was the Money in the Bank briefcase winner that year, the second ever to win that, announced about a month in advance that he would be challenging John Cena for the championship. And so right off the bat, you kind of had a WWE-ified type of event coming. And then some matches were being implemented where you had Taz against Jerry Lawler that opened the show 35 seconds in. You had Kurt Angle defeat Randy Orton by submission in 15 minutes in a singles match. Then you had the FBI defeat the what was their name? The Mexicools and Super Crazy and Tajiri. Or they weren't the Mexicools, just Super Crazy was of the Mexicools. You had Rey Mysterio versus Sabu in an Extreme Rules match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this was one of the biggest spots of the night, where it was kind of like Rey Mysterio was on the outside, standing on the table, and Sabu tried to do he executed like a springboard DDT and kind of like bounced off the top rope to the outside, and then DDT'd Rey Mysterio through the table, and it ended in a no contest, as neither men were able to continue. And then in one of the more built up matches for the night, you had Edge, Mick Foley, and Lita versus Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer, and Beulah McGillicuddy in a 3-on-3 hardcore match. And this match was a complete disaster. And the way that it ended was about as opposite of PG as you can get. So Edge hits a spear on Beulah and pins her in probably the most sexual way that is possible. Very not PG. But, I mean, it really drove the point home if you're trying to really make Edge a main event heel at this time, which he was, or they were trying to. You know, they clearly were. He had already won the championship at that point. He had already, you know, been a main event level heel against John Cena. Would only look to continue that beyond this pay-per-view. And, you know, after this match, you had one other one of Balls Mahoney versus Masato Tanaka in 5 minutes in Extreme Rules match before you got to the main event of Rob Van Dam versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. And it was Rob Van Dam's cash-in, and if he won the championship, he would be bringing it over to the newly announced ECW brand, which is another reason why this one felt a bit more watered down, was because it wasn't really One Night Stand. It was more about really kicking off the new ECW brand and really starting to start programs to lead into the weekly program, or the weekly show that would become ECW to run alongside Raw and SmackDown. And obviously Rob Van Dam, the overwhelming favorite here from the local fans. And although earlier in the night, Edge was an overblown heel and absolutely hated, he would make his presence felt in a way that the fans at the Hammerstein Ballroom would like this time around. So just stop it right there before we have Edge interject himself in the match. You really have John Cena kind of acting like a heel in this, which was really good ring psychology, like knocking out the ECW ref in front of everyone, really beating down Rob Van Dam to really silence the crowd. So you really have a lot of heat being generated towards John Cena as we approach the finale for this match. And just like that, we have one of the most crazy endings to a contest, in my opinion, at that point, because you have Edge kind of come in as you have like this like somewhat heel turn of John Cena in the middle of the match because they're playing to the crowd that they're working in front of, and then Edge comes out, who was the over-the-top heel, half an hour earlier or an hour earlier, and spears John Cena through a table. Rob Van Dam capitalizes. Paul Heyman runs out to count the 1, 2, 3, and that's how it would end, as Rob Van Dam would become the WWE and ECW champion, a run that would be cut short because of the obvious reasons of what happened in his personal life, being busted for driving high and possession, all that. But this would kick off the ECW, the very forgettable ECW brand that we would come to know from 06 to 09. And they would continue with the One Night Stand pay-per-view until 2008 before it got rebranded as Extreme Rules, which we have come to know today. And we will be watching tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on the WWE Network or on Peacock, depending where you are. But all this to say is that in 05, 06, 05 more specifically, but you still kind of had the feeling in 06 of a very authentic feel to what ECW was all about. And it's pretty cool to go back and watch the success of, obviously more specifically, the 2005 version, but even so, the 2006 one wasn't bad itself. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed ECW One Night Stand from 2005 and 2006. As always, you can get me on Twitter at AdaMarco25. You can get Matt on Twitter at Wrestling_audio. And be sure to catch his live show tonight, or by the time you're listening to this, it'll probably be yesterday. But he is going live tonight to preview the ECW, or no, it isn't One Night Stand, it's Extreme Rules, to preview Extreme Rules that is going on tomorrow. Anyway, guys, have a good weekend. If you're in Canada, happy Thanksgiving. I will talk to you next week.
Are you a gamer looking for your clan? If you answered yes, there's a place absolutely perfect for you. It's called Clan Finder, online at clanfinder.gg. The website was founded by gamers who were committed to keeping the site updated with the latest titles, adding new features to further assist in advertising your community across the globe, and bringing on gaming studios that want to give back to their players. Helping support charities from around the world, Clan Finder helps gaming communities promote their organizations to fellow gamers who are looking for a place to call home. Long gone are the days when you had to scour forums, stem discussions, and sketchy websites to find a new gaming clan. Go to clanfinder.gg and search for your clan today. Clanfinder.gg.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.